Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the emergency broadcast by National Vintage League number 2. We don't know when we're going to be cut off by the government, so enjoy it while you can. As always, I'm joined by my guest,
NBA legend Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
I'm Miami Dolphins bust running back Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, no relation. Salam alaikum, Kareem.
Alaikum salam, Kareem.
So this week we're talking about all the first round picks from 1999 to 2009.
Love it. Hopefully less deaths and blood clots in the lungs this time, but we can't guarantee anything.
Set of rules. First round number 1 pick. How did they play for that team? Those are the rules. If you don't like them,
do your own
do your own video.
Whatever draft you'd like, really. We'd love to see it.
Genuinely, I would like to see that. It's 1999. The Cleveland Browns are expansion team. Yes, expansion team, because the Baltimore Ravens, Baltimore Ravens, are now in Baltimore. New start, 1999. Who are they going to pick? First up, QB with a big old arm, Timmy Couch.
There are other options that they could have gone with, notably Edgerrin James at number 4.
Can I just point out how you've spelled Edgerrin there?
Force me into doing making notes.
Edjerin.
Edgerrin James at number 4 could have been the pick.
Martin Automatica for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
At 80, yes, picking kickers in the 3rd round. They have a habit. We've got to do a series on Tampa Bay kickers. I don't think you can handle it emotionally.
No, I know.
But maybe I'll host that one, and
I'll just quietly crying.
But notably undrafted in this year was a punter. Which punter do you think I'm going to? I'll give you a big clue.
Brian Moorman! He's going to run it, and now he's dead. All-time leader in pass completion percentage for the Browns, which isn't an amazing stat, because if you look at
the toilet roll list.
59.2% completion percentage. Not awful, but let's just say they had the number 1 pick again the next year. 2000, the Cleveland Browns having whiffed on strong-arm Tim Couch.
Funnily enough, the picks 2 and 3 were the Washington Redskins. LeVar Arrington with 2.
Great.
But Chris Samuels with 3, who went to the Pro Bowl 6 times.
Okay, so at number 3, the Redskins took Chris Samuels, went to the Pro Bowl 6 times. At number 1, the Browns took their namesake, Mr. Courtney Brown. If you want niche facts, throughout his high school career, he maintained a 4.0 GPA and never missed a day of school.
Unfortunately, though, they could have taken Brian Urlacher.
I don't want Brian Urlacher. I want Courtney Brown, who has the same name as my franchise and never missed a day of school. That is who I want. I want to build my house upon the rock of Courtney Brown, who played terribly and had trouble staying healthy. Next pick, 2001. As a freshman, Mike Vick, we're going to talk about his football. Let's stick to football. As a freshman, Mike Vick was nominated for the Heisman. Pro Bowls for Mike Vick in 2002, 2004, 2005, and then, of course, pleaded guilty federal charges in the Bad News Kennels dogfighting investigation, which everybody knows about, so we don't need to talk about it. Gone to prison.
Yes. Apparently, whilst in there was a savant for in-prison fantasy football leagues.
I'd like to imagine Mike Vick building a library like Andy Dufresne in The Shawshank Redemption and guards coming to him going, "Oh, hey, Mike, who do I start in fantasy this week?"
He's just got a huge poster of John Madden on his wall. He's just slowly digging out. But people that could have gone instead of Mike Vick, LaDainian Tomlinson and Drew Brees were the 2 people taken with the San Diego Chargers pick trade. I would argue that worked out a bit better.
He left prison and got signed by the Eagles. Well done, Philadelphia. 2002, Houston Texans take David Carr, brother of Derek, but we don't know that yet. On the cover of Sports Illustrated, Houston Texans looking for a quarterback, flicking through. I will take that guy, please. Number 1. And he was sacked to pieces. They drafted a quarterback and then did nothing for the offensive line. He was sacked 76 times in one season, which remains an NFL record. He also set an NFL record for fumble recoveries, recovering his own fumbles from when he was sacked. Yeah. And so David Carr finished his career having been sacked a total of 249 times.
Gosh.
He now resides in Florida, probably in a wheelchair. 2003, Carson Palmer, Cincinnati Bengals. Palmer didn't play at all in his rookie season. Shock horror, they actually took a quarterback and then let him sit behind the GOAT, John Kitna, while he was eating pies and sort of chucking pies as well. So this is my thing with Carson Palmer. He's a 2-time Pro Bowler, no playoff wins, big arm quarterback, nice guy to have as your franchise QB, but they didn't really... Come on,
didn't he
really
win?
do anything.
Oh yeah, we're just talking about
just the Bengals.
Just the Bengals.
He didn't really do much.
No, he didn't. Obviously, the biggest whiff of the whole draft and future Hall of Famer and wonderful Head and Shoulders representative Troy Polamalu at 16.
Carson Palmer's roommate for the entirety of college.
Boom.
See you later. Well done. That's facts. He also lived with Matt Castle, but that's less sexy. So 2004, the San Diego Chargers sitting in the top spot. Eli Manning has said to you, I'm not playing for your team. He did a Bo Jackson with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If you draft me, I'm sitting. I'm not playing. And what did they do? They drafted him. Of course they did. What? It makes no sense to me. A player says to you, I'm not playing. If you hire me to this company, I'm going to sit in the toilet the whole time. And you still go, yeah, but he's pretty good though, so let's take him. Eli Manning, drafted by the Chargers. Technically, we're talking about what they did for the team that drafted them. So in his place, San Diego Chargers at number 1 took Nate Kading, kicker, and Sean Merriman,
Oh, lights out.
franchise linebacker. Who would you rather have? Put you on the spot.
I would not have Eli Manning in any sense of occasion. I wouldn't want him at my birthday party, wouldn't want him at my house, wouldn't want him on my team, wouldn't want to have a pint with him. Sorry, mate.
2005, San Francisco 49ers sitting at the 1 spot. Alex Smith.
Current Redskins quarterback.
Current Redskins tosser.
He's
Alex
sitting.
Smith.
He's in a cryogenic chamber, floating in some sort of fluid. And this was the notable draft when Alex Smith crushed all of Aaron Rodgers' hopes and dreams.
Greased up hair, Aaron Rodgers sits looking glum.
After being on the bus, saying he's going to go number 1.
Aaron Rodgers on the bus, giving it the big one with his flip phone going, I'm going to get picked number 1.
I had that exact haircut when I was about 14, that gelled quiff.
6 seasons with the Niners. He had a different offensive coordinator every year, had a great year, then got injured, and then a man by the name of Colin Kaepernick, I'm not sure if you've heard of, came in and took his job.
I'm going to say Aaron Rodgers should have gone number 1.
If Aaron Rodgers is quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers in their Super Bowl appearance where all the lights went out at halftime, do they beat the Ravens?
Yes.
2006, knock knock, get the door. It's the Houston Texans. They've done nothing for 5 years. David Carr's a pot plant and they suck again. Analysts think they're going to take Reggie Bush, but no, they take Mario Williams. First 2 sacks in the league. Dante Culpepper and Byron Leftwich. The 2 main scalps. He's second all time for all the sort of, sack records and forced fumbles to JJ Watt for the Texans. You take Reggie Bush, don't you?
Yeah, you take Reggie Bush.
Or you take Vince Young and really compound your woes. Okay, we finally arrived. 2007, the year of the GOAT. Jamarcus Russell. He's 6'6", 260 pounds. He is the perfect quarterback. And if you're sitting there as Al Davis going, no, we're not going to take him because he's going to eat a bunch of stuff. You don't know that yet. He's just a big boy with a big heart. During the combine, Matt Millen, who is the Raiders draft analyst, and he was like, oh, come in, Jamarcus. Just put the donuts over there.
Squeeze through the door.
Now, we're going to walk through some coverages. Can you get off your phone, please? Apparently, Jamarcus Russell was on his phone for the entire time until Matt Millen was like, get out. He was picked off twice in his first start, and after the second one, he didn't get up. He just lay on the field, and a cart took him back to the locker room. Imagine being in Oakland at the Oakland Coliseum and watching your new jewel of a quarterback trot onto the field. He's an Adonis. He's a god. Throws 1 pick, that's fine. Throws another pick, and then lies on the ground. We all know what happened. He ate a bunch of donuts. He kept turning up to preseason for the next 4 years, more and more overweight, to a point where it was 300 pounds overweight. He stayed 6'6", didn't grow or shrink. That'd be mental. His 2009 passer rating of 50 was the lowest by a starting quarterback in the NFL since 1998. And I think the final nail in his coffin is when he left the Raiders, his final preseason. He lost a quarterback contest to these people: Jason Campbell, Charlie Fry, Bruce Gradkowski, and Kyle Boller. 2008, Miami Dolphins, Jake Long. He's a beast. Plug and play left tackle. Went to 4 Pro Bowls. 3rd offensive tackle ever to be taken with the 1st overall pick after Hall of Famer Orlando Pace and Hall of Famer Ron Yari. So it's hard to say, you don't take him. 2009.
Well, no, just wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
One undrafted person that I just want to mention. This is the player that, in my opinion, has the greatest nickname in the history of the NFL. The law firm. Benjarvis Green Ellis.
Why is he called the law firm, Chris?
Because it sounds like a law firm.
2009, Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford at number 1. Again, he's coming out of Georgia. He's set all kinds of records. He's got every single passing record in the book for Georgia. He's not won a single playoff game. He went to one Pro Bowl in 2014. Yes, he's got all the Detroit Lions passing records, but that's because they're the Detroit Lions. You had Joey Harrington playing for them.
I kind of agree with you, but I think he kind of got a bit of a tough break. He's the best of a bad bunch. It's the worst draft in history. However, one person we should note is friend of the store, cupcake making, Brian Arakpo.
So I'd take Matt Stafford.
Yeah, exactly. Look at that. Hilarious.
Complete 180. But that's because there's no one else. You know, it's like going to the supermarket now and wanting pasta, but you have to get a Muller corner again because there's no pasta around at all. So yes, in that sense, I'd take Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of NVL's second emergency broadcast, reminding you to stay indoors, love each other,
wash your hands.
and look after your mothers. For God's sake, it's Mother's Day.
Yeah, I've got to send a quick text.
Oh, if you're not. My guest for this week is... well, fuck me. All this rehearsal time.
It's fine. We're doing
Your lines, you got lines right there.
There's no lines. It's just an empty piece of paper saying you can do it.